the memoirs of a father trying to pour into his son all that Christ has done and taught me.
I was in Matthew 7. It dealt with the prayer. All right, let me read you 7 through 11 here. Get to it. All right. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. Verse 8, for everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. Or what man is there among you who, when his son asks for a loaf, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, he will not give him a snake, will he? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give what is good to those who ask him? All right, when you look at that, Jesus knew the importance of prayer, and he practiced it regularly. I mean, he often slipped away, got away from the crowds to just commune with God. And from that, he'd received the guidance and the strength that was necessary to carry on his Father's work. Right? And Jesus, in him teaching about the power of prayer, Jesus promised us that God will always answer. And in those verses, he used 3 words to help us pray effectively. He said, ask. All right, we're to come to God with our requests. And when we do that, we're acknowledging both our need and God's ability to meet that need. Because why wouldn't you just pray to a can of carbonated water, which I'm drinking right now? Because you know that can of water has no ability to meet that need. And that's why we go to God for that. All right, Jesus assures us that every request will be granted, but in accordance with our Father's will, with his best for us and others. Okay, so number 1, ask. Number 2, seek. All right, sometimes the Lord, he asks us to get involved in the situation which we're praying about. For example, all right, we may be petitioning him for him to help us find a new job. I mean, I'm going through that here in Detroit, looking for a new job. All right, he not only wants me to seek his wisdom and his guidance, but he also wants me to take practical steps to find out what's available. I mean, I guess I could just say, God, drop a job in my lap. But I need to see what jobs are out there, get my resume to them, set up interviews, and talk to people. So he wants us to take practical steps to discover what's available out there. All right, when we obey his directions, God promises to provide the answer. He said, he who seeks finds. All right, so ask, seek, and knock. So in carrying out the Father's plan, we're going to encounter obstacles along the way. I mean, there's no way around that. All right, for us to overcome them, sustained and persistent prayer, that may be required of us. Right, but knocking implies a level of force being applied so that the door will open. But once God presents the solution, we no longer need to ask. When he opens up a path, we should walk on it. We should walk in that he's done. Prayer accomplishes much. James 5:16. Therefore, confess your sins to one another and pray for one another, so that you may be healed. The effective prayer of a righteous man availeth much. It can accomplish much. See, prayer, it engages the Lord in our personal lives. It's the way we experience oneness with our Father, and we receive the essentials that are needed to carry out His work, His will, not ours. If you're trying to do your own thing, you run into all kinds of trouble. All right, that's it. So, Gunny out.
I'm proud of you, son. Love your father. I'm done.